Hey everyone, welcome back to the 50/50 project. We've got the CRX back in the shop. We're going to be doing touch-up paint on this episode. It's got tons and tons of rock chips in the hood. We're going to be trying to restore it as much as possible, bringing back that factory finish. Used wash soap, red knot super drying towel. Sorry about the background noise. This is a working shop. We're going to get it down to the CRX right now. First, we're going to go over the tools and products that we use for doing touch-up paint. Before I start, I'm going to use this, it's actually a tire crayon or tire marker, and we're going to actually circle out every single touch-up on this car. Depending on how many touch-up spots we have to do, we do use this, but if it's only one or two, obviously you can keep track of your work. Next, we're going to be using this tool from the touch-up pen that's usually included from every dealership. This is going to be a little, I guess it's a sanding tip. We use that to clear out any of the chipped up paint and any of the rust from the little dimples. Next, because this paint is a really light colored red, we're going to use a white as a base coat, and that's going to allow the red to blend a lot better with the paint that's already on the car. We're going to apply all that using this little touch-up tool. You actually thin down the touch-up paint and put it in the top there, and that actually flows through the bottom and gets you a really precise application. And then the coolest thing about this CRX is it actually came with the original OEM Honda touch-up paint. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever found in a car. It's the R63 Rio Red. This is an original accessory, probably a collector's item, I don't know. But we're gonna be using that crazy thing. It's still liquid. But yeah, we're gonna get on to circling all the rock chips and then head on to starting the touch-up. Now, as you can see, there are tons and tons of really heavy rock chips, especially through the front area here. The front end of the car has been repainted, and that's usually the reason why you get really, really bad rock chips, is just because the paint is a lot softer and a lot more prone to chipping. This whole front area here, kind of hard for me to circle all the individual rock chips, so we're just gonna start above this body line. All right, now as you can see, there's an unbelievable amount of rock chips here. Normally, not gonna do touch-up to this level. I kind of limit it to like 5 or 10, but since this is gonna be our demo car, we're doing pretty much as many as we can. I think I counted 7,432, but I'm not 100% certain. Next step though is gonna be using this other touch-up pen. Some vehicles don't come with this, some do, but pretty much every dealer you can get this from. It's just a little, I don't know, it's like something really hard, but this scratches any loose paint off and also removes any rust underneath, so preps the surface really well. So we're gonna go on to doing this on all the chips, then we're gonna be filling in all the chips with a white touch-up paint. All right, now for the touch-up part of the job, we're going to use a single stage white paint as the base coat, just because putting that red paint over top of these really dark spots is gonna enhance the darkness, I guess. Like I did a spot here and it looks almost black. So we're gonna put white on there first. That's gonna give us a background so that the red will really shine. All right, so now that we are done turning the red CRX into a pimpled 13-year-old boy, we're going to turn all those white spots into a color matching red. So I actually took the original Honda touch-up paint, which as you can see is super, super thick and globby. Obviously that's not gonna flow through the touch-up pen very well. So we actually took some lacquer thinner and mixed it up in this cup here. It's a really nice thin consistency. And a couple of things you can actually use for doing touch-up. These R1. They kind of blob paint on, so I'm not a huge fan of them unless you're touching up a big scratch or something. You can use the brush out of the touch-up, or my favorite is this pen here. So we're just gonna scoop up some of that out of the cup. All right. All right, looks like that's it. Pretty much it for the touch-up paint. We're gonna go on to doing the paint correction. That'll be in the next video though. This touch-up was really extensive. Honestly, not sure how it's gonna look after the paint correction, but hopefully it turned out pretty good. In the next video, we're gonna show you every step of our paint correction process and show you the major difference it's gonna make on this half of the car. So make sure to subscribe and like this video so you can see all the future ones.